Aries, this is your 2015 March horoscope reading. I'm Dadhichi Toth from astrology.com.au. I forget who it was that said if you don't learn from history, you're destined to repeat the same mistakes. Something along those lines. I think you know what I'm saying. This month it's important for you to grasp that concept based upon what I see there with your ruling planet Mars in your sun sign now, endowing you with a lot of strength and energy. Just having had the very strong and sensual and powerful sexual conjunction of Venus. But these two planets very, very close to the past karma point, which is why I raise this issue. And this has a lot to do with your own self-identity, your feeling of power, your ego. And this is tied in strongly with your relationships this month. You know, Venus is the ruler of your marital affairs, your public relations planet, if we could put it that way. It also has a lot to do with your finance, and according to Hindu astrologers, your family life. So these areas of your life are dominated by this conjunction just now. And we do know that you are in a rather social mood, having Mercury there in the 11th house. So the problem you've got, just coming back to the Mars and the Venus, is the powerful square, or what we call a right angle, from Pluto in the 10th house. 10th house is that part directly above in the heavens. Pluto is a very manipulative planet. It is a transformative planet. Some say now it's not a planet, but I just use that word just for ease of use. So it shows us that this passion that you have, this desire to push your ego forward, to dominate and to be seen to be, a go-getter in life, is under the control of this planet Pluto. So you do really need to look carefully at your motivations this month, even though that transit has strongly, I suppose, passed. The lingering effects are still there. And why I said you've got to go back into the past, because if you're honest with yourself, you'll see that there may be some throwback to situations that cause you problems in this way. Pardon me. Cause you problems with relationships along the same lines. Manipulation of any sort, emotional blackmail, whether it's coming from you or you're with someone who is throwing that sort of stuff at you, that is not going to really foster a deep and transparent relationship. And you need to work on that this month. We see there are some great opportunities in your love life, especially around the 3rd of March with Jupiter and Uranus moving into the trine aspect. These are somewhat sudden but fortuitous and happy opportunities that can come to you. We see the lovely trine aspect to Jupiter from Venus. We're talking about Venus, and the conjunction of Venus to Uranus on the 5th of March. So unexpected opportunities in relationships, friendships, and even money can occur, because Venus does rule your finance sector. Let's take a look also at the important transits to your ruling planet. The right angle or the square from your ruling planet to your career. You've got to be careful of that in terms of the energy that you have right now and pushing forward your agenda in your professional life may not work to your advantage. That can work better, and that's a strong aspect around the 8th of March, with some improvement there with Mars in trine to Jupiter, Mars conjunct Uranus on the 10th and the 12th. So leading up to those dates, you can see a bit of tension and then opportunities there. That could be by virtue of the fact that you change your tune. You realise that diplomacy is going to work better than grabbing a sledgehammer and hitting it over the head of your employer. That's definitely not going to work. We do see the manipulative aspect on the 12th as well, the Mars square Pluto. But I did forget to mention that work does also take precedence this month. We see the full moon in Virgo on the 6th, and Virgo for you is your workplace activity. So we've got to throw that in as being a rather emotional element into your workplace, and that could bring you unstuck, especially around the 12th. Continue to use those diplomatic skills of yours rather than that aggressive strength that is evident just now. You're likely to come down a notch or two in terms of that aggressiveness anyhow, because we see Mercury, that is again your planet of career, more so the workplace activities and your co-workers. That planet moving into your 12th house, it's a low-key house. That happens on the 13th. Mercury is also a planet regulating your communications. It also regulates your health, your well-being, and the way you think about things. So all of these things are coming under check by that 12th house transit. That'll last for about a month, commencing on or about the 13th of March. We see Saturn on the 15th moving into the retrogression stage. That is indeed your career planet. So something may start to hold things up there. Plans that were underway could also come unstuck at that point in time. So you need to have a plan B in place, because the retrograde periods of these slower moving planets like Jupiter and Saturn, in this case Saturn, can take some time to get back to what we call their normal course. And this is happening in your 9th house. So this is the area of the zodiac relating to your legal matters, to your higher educational pursuits, and to some extent contracts. It is legal, and we do see that Mercury moving into that 12th house ruling contracts. So this is a time where you need to reappraise what it is you're doing. And if you watch the introduction to this March horoscope, you'd see what I'm talking about there in terms of the what and the how, the what versus the how. What is it that you need to do? And the how are you going to do that question may arise, and that will happen under this retrograde transit of Saturn. Mercury also moves into the right angle to Saturn, interestingly. So I was talking about those two planets, the communications planet. This has to do with writings, communication, written and verbal, contracts. So there is some challenge there. And when Mercury and Saturn are in this right angle, it can also show your thinking is not as sharp as it normally is. Now, these aspects are happening around the 15th, the 16th, leading up to those dates. So around the middle of the month, you'll find you're probably not quite as sharp as you were earlier in the month. So you need to maybe document things a little more carefully, double check your facts and figures before going into battle. There is a good note there with Venus moving to your finance sector on the 17th, finance sector, the 2nd house, which is Taurus. And Venus being in its own sign is actually an excellent placement for that transit. So over the next month or so, you can expect the outcome of these deals, even though we see those retrograde planets, the outcome of these deals being rather good for you, in that you might see some surplus cash, some additional cash flow there, some bonuses or commissions. And because that regulates as well the partnerships that you have, your partner, either your spouse or lover, business partner, could also be a factor in you achieving a better financial situation during this cycle. Some confusion around the 18th or thereabouts with Mercury moving into the conjunction of Neptune. Now, notwithstanding the fact that you have all of those fine opportunities there, there's always a shadow of confusion cast by that Mercury-Neptune conjunction. So take care. Again, the theme seems to be to carefully analyse, recheck all your figures before committing yourself to anything. Let me just have a look here at the new moon, which is always very, very important. It takes place on the 20th in the last degree of Pisces, which is your 12th house. This 12th house again seems to be a theme for you this month, relating to spiritual matters and also issues associated with the past, which I did raise at the outset of your reading. But I think there's a spiritual connotation to this, which indicates a new approach to your spiritual ideals and how you think about spirituality and what you want to achieve, and also how you may be able to bring spirituality into the practical affairs of your daily life, particularly your workplace affairs, as Mercury is in that zone of the zodiac. It's nice to know that in the early part of the year, the sun comes to your sun sign, Sun on the 21st of March moves to the sign of Aries, so that's going to uplift you in many, many ways, and that will be a nice counteraction to some of these downsides that I've seen here in these planets in the 12th house. We see some excellent aspects there from Venus, but a bit of a mixture too, or rather an offset there by the right angle to Jupiter, showing a lot of waste around the 28th. It's surrounded by the good aspects of the triangular formation to Pluto and to the midheaven, your career, and this shows that you can be completely committed and dedicated to what it is you want to achieve during this cycle. So financially, professionally, excellent. And then to top it off, on the last day of the month, the 31st, Mercury does move into your sun sign as well to catch up to the transit of the Sun. This is a rather astute combination for winning friends and winning over your enemies as well, and gaining some successes through the power of your speech and communication. So all in all, a good month, I think. Do join me at astrology.com.au to check out your more detailed analysis for the daily, monthly and yearly readings. Lots of free stuff and personal readings if you'd like to avail yourself of that. Till next month, have a good one. Take care now. Bye-bye.